Hey there, action figure friends. Today I'm taking a look at a couple of Ninja Turtles from the Loyal Subjects, Tokka and Rahzar. And these are kind of cool. I've been getting more and more interested in this line of Ninja Turtles. I've been searching for a really good Ninja Turtle line for a while because I wanted to collect some of them. And these ones from the Loyal Subjects are really grabbing my interest. Now I want to give a quick shout out to 118th Archive because he sent these over to me to take a look at them, and it's pretty cool that he did that so I can open up his brand new toys and then send them back to him. But he thought I might find these kind of interesting. And so yeah, we want to get these guys out of the box, take a look at them a little bit more in detail. I know I've never done, at least as far as I know, I don't think I've ever done a Ninja Turtle video on this channel before, but I figured I have an opportunity. Why not? Let's get these open. So here are Tokka and Rahzar out of their boxes, and we got a variety of accessories. And the first thing I'm going to show you is that they each come with a trading card back behind their little case, their little plastic bin of parts. And for those who actually care, you get a BST AXN Best Action Figure sticker, if that's your thing. And so let's look at Tokka's weapons first. Here's a nice looking mace. That's kind of pokey. Look at that. Even stands up really well. You could stand that thing up like right next to him. That's pretty cool. He comes with this really mean looking knife. Spiky handled knife. That's mean. And a couple of hands. So he's got a pointing finger right hand and kind of just an open left hand. This is not enough that you could actually hold on to an accessory. It's just kind of more like a yeah, that made a lot of sense, right? For Rahzar, sometimes I mess up his name. For Rahzar, I'll get it. I really know it. He has this bone skull club thing, and I don't think the mouth does not articulate, but if you look at it, almost looks like it might. And then he has a sewer cover shield. Even says sewer right there. And on the back there's the handle so he can hold that for his shield. He also comes with a couple of open hands. So you can see they don't really hold on to the accessories. The hands that each of these come with, they are the accessory holding hands. Now, I'll just be straight up and honest. When I look at Rahzar, I think this kind of guy kind of makes me think of a Five Nights at Freddy's character. He just has this weird kind of creepy look, like if he was an animatronic in a pizza parlor, I probably wouldn't send my kids, or I probably wouldn't even go near it as either. Tokka just looks like a vicious snapping turtle of sorts. I mean, look at this shell. He's got a nice spiky shell, dude. Yeah, he's great. Now, one thing I do like about Rahzar is he's colorful. Now, I don't remember, I have to admit, I can't remember if these bright green shorts were a thing, but I really like the blue up here. These almost look more like animated, like cartoon versions, versus like the 90s movie version. I think it was 90s, yeah, they were the 90s movie version. Let's look at Tokka first, and he's got a pretty good range of motion. His head mostly goes back and forth, and then up and down. His arms go all the way around, and he has butterfly joints. Pretty good. If you want him to lift his arms, man, they only go up about that far. A bicep rotation. And the thing that I like the least, let me grab that hand that just flipped off. Slide this back in here, and then I'll tell you what I like the least. You can do it. There we go. The thing that I like the least about these figures are the elbow joints, and I think those elbow joints are pretty nasty looking. They separate, and I think they're ugly. So of all the things about these Ninja Turtles from the Loyal Subjects, it's mostly the elbows that I just can't stand. The other arm does the same thing. The wrist has a rotation and a hinge, and if you want him to sit, well, I mean, you can go about that far. And he's got double jointed knees, and same thing. I think the knees are pretty ugly looking, the way they separate the way they do. That's just probably a personal opinion because from what I understand, this is a very popular line. Thigh rotation. There's I think it's a ball joint. Yeah, it's just a ball joint up there in the legs. A rotation, or maybe that's a pivot. I think that's a pivot and a hinge at the ankle. And it looks like this piece, the chest piece, actually might come off because it's very pliable and it pulls away from the body pretty well. Let's slide these things in. Give him his mace. And I might have chosen the wrong. Fingers are very tight. Yeah, we're not going to put that in there. Fingers are very tight. Might have to get warmed up. But there's Tokka. Let's take a look at Rahzar. And again, his neck seems to be not nearly as articulated. Up and down, back and forth, it's very tight. I don't want to force it. I don't know if that's a bad thing. But his jaw articulates. Roar, roar. Rotation at the arms, butterfly joints, and again, you bring his arms up. That's about as far as they go. Bicep rotation, double pin at the elbow, the ugly things, rotation, and a hinge at the wrist. And let's see about his blue underwear. He cannot rotate at the waist, but he does have a loose torso cut that kind of moves around a little bit here and there. If you want him to sit, he can go about there. Thigh rotation, splits, double pinless knee, ugly rotation, and pivot and hinge at the ankle. And that is Rahzar. And again, these are extremely tight fingers, so I'm not going to put his club in his hand. Might be lucky to get his... Yeah, I don't want to break the shield, so these fingers are going to need to be heated up. Because these are very, very tight fingers. That's unfortunate. I wonder sometimes the difference between softer fingers and tougher fingers. Because sometimes accessories are very difficult to put in figures' hands, while other times they're just like a dream. They're easy. You pry them open, and there they are. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to wrap up this video with them all geared up and decked out. But I like the looks of these. If I don't have to look at the elbows or the knees like all the time or like ever, then I really like this line. And I know that they're not 4-inch and they're not 6-inch, they're like 5-inch. And here's a Fortnite figure to kind of show you. I think in the case of these two, because they are bigger characters, you could probably scale these just fine with 4-inch figures. And they're big animals, so... Anyway, thank you for stopping by and watching this different kind of video. I will see you in the next one.